And a pleasant good evening from Allen Fieldhouse, where the Kansas Jayhawks, the 16th ranked team in the land, has just finished off a 69-52 victory over the Iowa State Cyclones in a game that was never really close, never really in doubt, and an impressive 40 minutes, a much needed 40 minutes of basketball from the Jayhawks after the disappointment of Saturday's blown lead and loss in Waco. This is a 580 Sports Talk instant reaction from high atop Allen Fieldhouse. Thank you for tuning in on our YouTube channel, 580 Sports Talk on YouTube. Subscribe today and interact with yours truly in the live chat as we go along here for a few minutes after this one. You can also catch us on our Facebook page, WIBW News. Kansas needed this one bad after the largest blown lead in program history in a loss on Saturday, that 21-point lead that got away inexplicably and frustratingly in that loss to Baylor. Kansas needed to come out tonight, not just win, but make a statement about their toughness. There were a lot of people, and hand up, me included, who questioned the toughness of this Jayhawks team, the mental toughness of this team. And concerns were certainly warranted. It wasn't just the loss at Baylor. It was also the loss to Houston here 2 Saturdays ago that gave rise to the belief that, maybe this Jayhawk team just isn't mentally tough enough to close games and beat really good teams and protect their home court in the way that we're used to seeing Kansas protect their home court. But there were no such concerns tonight as the Jayhawks put together 40 solid minutes. The effort was good. They looked connected on offense and defense. They were balanced scoring. They were smart. They were, I think, just together in a way that when they're not at their best, they don't always feel as connected. A big part of that certainly was a healthy Dajuan Harris. He didn't look right in Waco on Saturday, looked much better on that ankle that caused him to miss the UCF game last week. And I think that was a big help. He was able to play more minutes and more effective minutes tonight. Ended up playing 35 minutes, had a solid Dajuan Harris game, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, perfect from the line, 4 or 6 from the field. Excellent defensively, had a hustle play that was really terrific in the first half, a play that kind of signified what this KU effort was going to be, a diving recovery of a loose ball after he had poked it away from an Iowa State player, and then from his backside able to find Diggy Coit, whose half-court outlet found KJ Adams for an alley-oop. And look, I've been in this building when it's been loud. I've been in this building the night they set the record for the Guinness Book of World Records for decibel level. And I have not heard it loud or much very often than it was on that Coit to Adams alley-oop. That was the kind of loud you could feel in your bones. And it really set the tone. In retrospect, that was kind of a knockout punch, as Iowa State never put together any kind of a run in the second half. Other good stuff for KU. Zeke Mayo continues to be just a Wooden Award quality player at Allen Fieldhouse. 17 points for Zeke, 5 of 6 from behind the arc, 8 rebounds, 3 assists in 33 minutes of action. He just has so much confidence playing in his hometown, playing in front of friendly fans, and it drips from him. And Kansas is a different team when Zeke Mayo plays at that kind of a level. Hunter Dickinson was really good. I was rough on Hunter if you listened to 580 Sports Talk earlier this afternoon, and I stand by my criticisms of Hunter Dickinson. But in a game where KU got out to a big lead, Hunter Dickinson was a reason that they built a big lead and a reason that they kept a big lead. I thought his defense was really good for the game. I think he ended up with, I'm going to double check the number, 4 block shots, 14 points, 9 rebounds, 7 of 12 from the field. Just a lot more assertive, a lot better from Hunter tonight. And that's what KU needs. I believe that teams take on the personalities of their best players, and tonight Hunter Dickinson's personality was a winning one with KU ahead from basically the jump. He was a tone setter as Kansas built that lead, built it. They were up 16 at halftime, led by as many as 23 in the second half. And again, it just never felt like Iowa State was going to make a run. It never felt like the Baylor game, a repeat of the Baylor game, was possible. And yeah, you have to give KU credit for that. And I give them lots of credit for defending better and having a little bit more energy and coming out and not just holding the lead, but expanding the lead as the second half began. It was really important for them to do that, I felt, so that those thoughts of deja vu didn't creep into their minds. So that was really necessary, and Kansas deserves a lot of the credit, and I don't want to shortchange Kansas in the credit department here at all. But boy, we got to talk about Iowa State, because now they've lost 3 consecutive games, and they look like a mess. They could not find the bottom of the cylinder in this game for the life of them. They shot 31% from the field in this game. That included 8 of 34 in the first half, and they missed 16 of their first 17 three-pointers. They were 3 for 21 on the night from 3. Now, they're a much different three-point shooting team. I don't know that everybody's splits are as significant as Iowa State's when it comes to three-point shooting. They're a 37% three-point shooting team at Hilton Coliseum. They are 30% away from home, and that number will drop. They might even go below 30% in true road games after this performance tonight. I actually thought Iowa State did all the things that you expect Iowa State to do. I don't think their effort lacked. I thought they were aggressive on defense in the way that they usually are. They made it hard for Kansas's ball handlers to have space. They forced 13 turnovers in the contest. They rebounded their tails off. They had 17 offensive rebounds. So despite having such a miserable shooting night where KU actually shot it pretty well at 47%, Iowa State only lost the rebounding battle by 1 because they were so good on the offensive glass. They did all the Iowa State stuff that you expect a TJ Otzelberger Iowa State team to do. The thing they didn't do is put the ball in the basket. And I don't know, frankly, exactly how much of that is Kansas and how much of that is an Iowa State team that, remember, on Saturday got blown out like this at home by Kansas State and only scored 61 points in that game. They feel like a team that's in a deep offensive funk and not playing with confidence on that end. But if you're Kansas, again, the credit where it's due. You always have to keep struggling teams struggling. And right now, Iowa State in a bit of a crisis of confidence following that stunning overtime loss at Tucson against Arizona last week on Caleb Love's stunning game-time shot from behind half court that turned into a loss. I mean, Iowa State wins that game, and they're 18-2, and they go to 8-1, 9-1. 8. They would have been 8-1 in the Big 12 with that win. And now, instead, they lost that game. They lost at home as 16.5-point favorites to K-State. Now they come to Kansas, and they get fairly shellacked. I mean, they were never really competitive in this basketball game. So it's a crisis for TJ Otzelberger's bunch right now. They've fallen to 17-5, 7-4 overall in the conference, and they got some soul searching to do in that locker room. They got veteran players. They have an identity. When the shots start falling, it'll probably look a lot better for them in a hurry. But right now, the shots are not falling, and the guys they need to score for them are not making shots. Taman Lipsey, Curtis Jones, and Keyshawn Gilbert combined to go 3 for 18 from behind the arc, and 13 of 40 from the field, and that is simply not going to get it done against anybody, especially not a team like Kansas, especially not in a place like Allen Fieldhouse. One last note that's amazing from this game for me, Kansas is now 38-0 under Bill Self in Big Monday games at home. 38-0 in this spotlight. Big Monday still means something in college basketball. To have that Monday night nationally televised game on ESPN. They don't put minnows on Big Monday. They put the big fish on Big Monday. And KU over and over again, when the big fish come calling on a spotlight like this, KU beats them. 38-0 all time under Bill Self. Gosh, with evidence like that, who in the world would have been silly enough to pick Iowa State to win on 580 Sports Talk this afternoon? I don't know. I don't know if anybody. Who would have done such a thing. I'm at a loss. I don't know. But no, in all seriousness, as they turn up the lights here at Allen Fieldhouse, I'm not sure why they did that, but they've washed out my face, and that's as good an excuse as any to wrap up this instant reaction. Good performance by KU, a much-needed win. They feel back on track a little bit, but they run into a red-hot K-State team in Manhattan on Saturday. We'll see if the good vibes keep rolling for KU or if they have a third straight Saturday, if you will, coming up at Bramlage Coliseum. I'll be there to cover that one too. So you'll have another one of these instant reactions covering both KU and K-State on Saturday afternoon. But until then, one more time, final score tonight from Allen Fieldhouse. Kansas, the 16th ranked team in the country, beats the 8th ranked team, the Iowa State Cyclones, 69-52. Big night for Zeke Mayo. DeJuan Harris looks all the way healthy. Hunter Dickinson, he was a man tonight, not a mouse. And KU pulls off the win, and really in convincing fashion. I'm Dan Lucero. Join me tomorrow on 580 Sports Talk from 3 to 6 Central Time on 580 WIBW, FM 104.9, and these very same video channels, WIBW News on Facebook and the 580 Sports Talk YouTube channel. Until then, it's good night from Allen Fieldhouse.